Click on Consumption node. We can handle all electrical consumption from electrical devices in the best way. Electrical devices could be present in the program archive, or could be also object on my personal desktop, because maybe I have the user bills, I could have technical information of a net pump connected to the system plant. So I need to have the consumption of the device to add to my project. So let's see how to do all this operation. From the icon plus on the right part of the present window, I can select from the archive. So I have a preloaded archive on the software, and I can select the object one by one. Or select new device, a net pump, personal computer, washing machine. Or I can also select a new device from consumption bill. Or I can also select consumption from a profile present in the archive. Let's see them one by one. Let's see how to add a new device from archive. To do this, I have a list of all devices present in the archive. We can apply filter. For example, I can apply a filter by language. So devices in French or Portuguese or English. If I need to add this device, for example, the personal computer, the software shows me how personal computer has been modeled by the software. So, with all properties. This element, called personal computer, has consumption of 20 devices. It's controlled minutes by minutes with power of 150 watts. So used all year except the weekend. And we are using it from 8 a.m. in the morning to 5 p.m. in the afternoon. If I don't like these properties from the general archive, I have other requirements, so I can confirm now and select the element and move it to the user archive. So in user archive, I have copy of the device. So now, as we see before, I can modify the element. I can change the number of corresponding devices to 10 devices, for example, and its power, it's not 150 watt, but it's 20 watt. And I use it from 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. So I'm personalizing the element and also the consumption. Then I can select the device and use it also to analyze the consumption estimate. So this one is the first way to add a device and do all customizations I want. So now let's see another one. Click on delete. So let's see the other one. I can create a new device and I can personalize it. Click on the icon plus on the right. The electrical load is calculated in kilowatt. It's used all year and all weekdays. Or I can set that I'm using the device just in autumnal season. Or I use the device just, for example, during the weekend, so during the weekdays. But how much power it's consuming? For example, it's used from 6 to 9 p.m. and it's 0.25 kilowatt. So now I obtain the consumption estimation. Click on confirm. Or I can also use, if I want, the minutes unit of measurement. For example, the device uses 500 watts and it's used, for example, for 45 minutes at noon during the day. Or I can use also percentage estimation. Medium value of the element is 0.25 kilowatt, but the load profiles of using that we obtain during autumnal season or during all year and during also all weekdays is this one here. So it's a standard profile or flat profile. So homes profile or apartment profile or an office profile. I can select from all these profiles. I can choose, use and confirm it. So I'm customizing the single device. Another interesting function is to use the data from consumption bill. I access to the cost estimation for electrical use for the device that could be used in different periods. For example, January, February, March, or April. Or maybe I could choose all year. If I have data from apartments, from office or others, and I have bills, so if I don't want to consider the single energetic and the cost consumption, so I want just to have a global analysis of the consumption. As you see, we have different sections. The previous sections allows you to set all details of the device, to know when you use the device, the consumption, and have accurate data. Or use general consumption from bills, characterized for the time zone, for the rates, so the consumption band. If we are considering 2 hours or 3 hours, for example, so dual hourly rates or 3 hourly rates. This rate can be modeled with my home information. So I can verify if for my 3 hourly rates, I can set from midnight to 6 or from 11 to midnight. Or I can change it. Same thing. So I select the hours and fee reference for the specific hours. I copy it in the program archive. And then here I can change name and time hours. So now I can assign the different periods. So I'm deciding the hours I want to set. Done this operation, I have to add the consumption for different hours. For example, in first period, I read a consumption of 450 kilowatt hour. Then we have 350 for the F2 label and 250 for the F3 label. That's all in January and February. As you see, all the other periods are closed. Automatically, Solarius shows hourly consumption, but I can say to the software that I have a peak power of consumption. That's because the heat pump starts at noon and it's used just for an hour. So here in the tabular form, I can set that I have a peak of energy in the hour from 12 to 13 from Monday to Friday. Solarius model energy consumption thanks to all the information we are setting now, thanks to all devices, hours, hourly rates, and for all days of the year. We saw all way to model different devices in a global way. But if I need later a quickly analysis for the client, I can go and click on the all consumption profiles. So I can see consumption profiles For example, for a family composed by 4 people, already modeled in the program archive. So I have already a profile to show. So what I have to do, with drag and drop command, I move it to the consumption section. Automatically I have the consumption of the profile. So the profile modeled in the archive. But I can always customize every element I want. If I select this element, the television, and I see the consumption modeled, I see all settings. I see just one television, but let's image 3 televisions with the same consumption and used as the same way. So I can just confirm. Done this operation, the software, regarding the node you selected, shows you the hourly consumption day by day. I also have a summary section too. All data could be exported in a graphic or tabular form. That's because I can simply model a PowerPoint presentation to show to the client. But let's see more details. I could have a general estimation, apply some filter, see something or not. I can see reference consumption from January, week by week, for Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday, or have daily details. This is the same for consumption or production of the plant, month by month, so monthly, or just have a summary in histogram form or linear form. All this information are useful to create a report calculation, or maybe to see the energy balance of the system, so daily balance or weekly balance of the plant. Or I can also have a monthly balance. Also to figure out the efficiency of the plant, of the system. Well, we can handle consumption details of all devices. And I also have detailed calculation data to show the efficiency of the design plant.